And we are back with another episode of Postgame. Welcome back. Tonight we actually have quite the team here. We're pretty excited. We have Luke and Phil with Houston State, not Bruce. We absolutely have beat out Bruce and Phil. Change his background while being introduced. The one thing he's probably going to do with good timing tonight was change his background on Zoom. All right, welcome, Bruce. Shirtless Bruce, for those of y'all who will not watch our YouTube channel.
Shoes.
It's amazing.
Shoes.
We have Pam, Pila's Halloween Basic. Welcome, Pam. We got Morgan from Australia. Welcome back, Morgan. Glad to have you. We got Beep Count. What up, Beep?
What's up?
We have Capo, and I never know if Capo's there or not because he has a picture of Greg Cody up. So those of you who see YouTube, yes, I can hear you. Thank you for asking that while I was talking. And we have a special guest tonight. We have Brock, and for those of y'all that don't know, that's how nervous I am now that we have Brock on. For those of y'all who don't know, we have Brock, who became a best friend of a lot of us a couple of weeks ago. That started off as a prank, and Brock ended up with his phone number in our hands for some reason, and a bunch of us started texting Brock, I think to fuck off. I believe that was the initial, and then after that icebreaker, we all became friends. So Brock, one, sorry that we ended up with your number. Two, welcome, glad to have you.
Oh, thanks. Happy to be here.
And then we have Stu Brock. So Stu Pock just entered the chat. What up, Pock? All right, Pock's on mute. So this is going very, very well.
Swimmingly.
Yep, swimmingly, as they say. So we have a couple things tonight. And the reason Brock is joining us is not just because we all wanted to proclaim to be his best friend. Today on the episode of Lebitard and Friends, or Lebitard with Stugat, excuse me, we had Smetty, and nobody's here without listening to that because there'd be no reason to do that. Smetty was given 60 seconds to go off on F1. And we had two of our F1 experts. We had Alley Cat, who can't join us tonight, and Brock, both inform us that she did not do the best. And this is coming off the heels of Alley Cat, I believe, calling Smetty a Netflix F1 fan. So apparently these F1 fans are just coming out the woodworks ready to take out Smetty for some reason. This isn't personal. We still love the show. But Brock is going to be allowed 60 seconds to do better than Smetty. Nobody here is going to know if it's better or worse because nobody here knows anything about F1. But Brock is saying that anybody who does is going to believe his 60 seconds is way better. Is that correct, Brock? I don't want to put words in your mouth.
I mean, I don't know if that's what we talked about. Smetty, I wasn't part of this, but sure, let's go for it.
Just you doing 60 seconds of it, and you think that you're going to recap it better. All the other stuff is us.
Well, that works.
Okay, so no, he's not. All right, I put Brock in a bad position here. He's not saying he's better than Smetty. I'm saying he's better than Smetty. Sorry, Brock, to do that to you so early. This won't be weird waiting 40 minutes for this to happen. All right, but before we kick that off, we had a couple things that we did want to talk about that we didn't get a chance to talk about. And Beep, you're going to have to cut this out because I completely closed my document down. So, 1 second here. Sorry.
I mean, we're live here. I mean, this isn't getting cut out. Like we're
dropped to $40.
Don't
leave it in.
No, we're
don't.
How about this? I'll just filibuster.
Look, first of all,
how about you filibustering after all that?
I'll filibuster. So just on the record, I would like to say that I'm pretty sure that Smetty is on point with her F1 takes, and that
Shut up.
Brock is not going to be able to hold a candle to her.
Keep your pants on, Bruce.
How to candle?
All right, there's no way to assume they're still
Smetty may know F1, but Brock knows FU.
He can F off.
So apparently, and Beep, you know more about this than I do. Somebody threw a ball in baseball at an opponent. I don't know much about it. And I asked you earlier in the chat, and I'm not gonna lie, you kind of gave me nothing. You gave me what I knew about it, which was the headline of what happened.
You told me.
What happened this weekend?
Well, you told me to tell you what happened. Tell me about what happened, and I kind of want to save my my thoughts and opinions on this low life, this douchebag. What the fuck? Seriously, you go to a game and your first inclination is, hey, I'm gonna throw this fucking 5-ounce baseball at some random person on a team that I don't like. You know what? You can go right to hell. you give Yankee fans a bad name. Like I'm not even going to call you a Yankee fan because you're a piece of shit. Basically, you're here trying to ruin someone's job. Essentially, I mean, if you hit him in the head with his baseball, concussion, boom, he's out for 7 to 10 days. It's just
So
it's
put it
he's a
on the
fucking
poll,
disgrace.
Lou.
He's a fucking disgrace.
All right. Are you a Yankees fan? And I'm not doing that sarcastically. I don't know. Okay.
Yeah, I've been a Yankee fan since I was like 5 years old. So since
Got it.
was that 1943?
Yeah.
I thought you were actually asking us what's that, and I'm like, we can't answer that for you.
Yeah.
Put it on the poll, Lou. Have Yankee fans ever had a good name? Because I don't feel like Yankee fans just got a bad name this weekend. I feel like they've always been.
Well, Lou Gehrig has a good name.
True. Probably a bad time for that joke for today's promotion of that hat. All right, great
But
job
speaking
so far.
speaking of Lou Gehrig, you can actually get, and you can see Beach House Bruce there is actually sporting the Lou Gehrig number 4, the LG4. That is 4 ALS. All the proceeds for this hat go to the IamALS.org Foundation. They're a great organization. So far, we've donated $6,000 in hat sales to I Am ALS. All those hats are actually going to be on sale on our website starting today. That is shop.lauerafterhours.com. And we are actually launching a new hat. It is the Cincy version, the Cincinnati version of the Lou Gehrig 4 hat. So go get it today.
Yep.
They're not going
Great
to last.
plug.
Like they're going to sell it in like a week. So
Yeah, last time
if
they
you
were
don't get it,
online.
then you kind of suck. I'm talking to you.
All right, I'm gonna feel bad if I don't make it in time to get that. So, but no, great plug-in. Absolutely, everybody go do that because honestly, we did sell out, and I think Lou, if you want to correct me, how much money did you raise last time on the blue version?
We've raised 6,000 so far, but
Awesome.
so each time we've done 200 sales for the 2 times we've done it. But this day, like I'm trying to get 300. We're trying to get the 300 hats sold this week.
All
So
right,
please
well,
go.
let's get into 300.
Yep. Please go buy a hat, please.
All right, so are you going to sleep? Hey, sleep. Good night. Big kiss.
So I had a question. Have you ever had like technology fail you or like because I was driving
right.
before and my car windows just decided they were going to open themselves while I was driving. And like what the fuck kind of ghost has like taken over my car? It's fucking freezing and raining and all of my windows just opened out of nowhere. It's
That didn't
crazy.
happen. Your left elbow or your right elbow, depending on what country you're in, was absolutely resting on.
It wasn't because it's not an elbow area. It's like a touch, whatever. I didn't touch it.
Huh. Okay.
And then I was trying to put them back up because it's like 4 buttons, because whatever. And I'm trying to put it up, and it was trying to push them back down again. So I don't know. Ghosts.
Okay. So have we had technology fail us, or have we had technology trick us into thinking there are ghosts riding in our car?
Yeah, that. Have you ever been like thought there was ghosts around? I always think there are.
Yeah.
I wish that ghosts were the reason that most things go wrong in my car, because then it's like bring like a priest or whatever it is you do to get rid of the ghost, and I imagine that's cheaper. Like a priest by the hour has to cost less than getting electrical repairs done on a vehicle, right? So I almost prefer it was a ghost.
It's more fun
Okay.
if it's a ghost.
So and I apologize. Oh, go ahead, Lou. You had something?
No, I was gonna say most ghosts prefer whiskey. So if you feel like your car is being haunted, set a shot of whiskey in your car at night, and it will stop haunting you.
So Beach House Bruce's recommendation is open container.
Mm.
Just to be clear. All right, open container. Thank you. Does anybody else have anything to contribute to technology ghosts or technology failing? I feel like technology fails us the way it has tonight at the beginning of my Zoom, but any other examples of technology failing you?
Yeah.
And no,
All
but
right,
and thank
what
you,
up,
Morgan, for go ahead, Pop.
All right, so it was something with the remote or something. I told my baby mama it was a ghost. You feel me? So she like, you lying. So I just made up this really blow ghost story, like telling her like, yeah, I done seen a ghost, yada yada yada. No, I'm just messing with her and shit. She don't believe me, so she say, then run downstairs and tell the kids not everybody in the house is scared as hell. And I'm laughing my ass off. Like it was funny as hell. She had like 3 daughters.
I do. Yeah, my wife, and I don't know if it's specific to brown people or not, but brown people always think that every house they've ever lived in is haunted. So anytime I mention ghost around, it's not. It's okay. So Pam agrees it's just something in the South. So
Yep,
I
my
do love
house
a
is
good.
haunted.
Yeah, your house is haunted as well. Every
Yeah.
single one. Yep.
Yep.
So and thank y'all all for trying to distract me there, because not trying to distract me, trying to fill a bus while I was distracted by what is my monster child and only child for about 7 more days. We were talking before the house sale of the baseball game, in which again a fan, I believe, piece of shit, low life, many other insults thrown out by Beep, threw a ball at a player. And so I was thinking, what would be like the worst sport to throw a ball at the player? Like if a fan picked up the ball involved in that sport and threw it at the player, which would be the worst? And so like to me, I thought I had the nuts with bowling, and Morgan may have the nuts. So I'm going to go around the horn. So Bruce, I know you're new to this, but I feel like I'm going to go to you probably second or third because I want to give you time. So get prepared. And Pam, did you have something that would be like the worst sport? Because bowling was mine.
Bowling would have been mine. So,
Maybe it doesn't have to be a ball, but it has to be like the apparatus used in
like a bocce ball. I feel like if you're playing bocce ball, that
Great
would
answer.
hurt if you hit somebody with a bocce ball.
Lawn
That's a
bowls
better
are
answer
really
because
heavy too.
a bowling, what was that?
Lawn bowls are really heavy too.
Oh yeah.
No, that's a great answer, because bowling ball, the more I think about it, it seems like it would hurt, but like you'd have to drop it on somebody, because none of us are like strong enough to just like chunk a bowling ball at somebody, right? So chances are it's not making it.
It's at least you're playing with at a house ball, probably what, 12, 13 pounds, 15 if you're feeling frisky. I usually go for the 8s for the spinners.
You love a good spinner, do you?
I love a good spinner. Love a good spinner.
My fingers get stuck.
Clearly, based on my size, I still play with the bumpers. So,
and then the ramp.
I'm allowed to go halfway down the aisle before I drop the bowling ball. Lou, what sport did you have?
The javelin throw.
Whoa.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
That's good.
all right.
That's
like if
the end.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying, like, I mean, it'd be kind of hard, like, and it'd probably be more of like a judge that got upset with the guy who threw it at him and would throw it back at him, other than like, because it would have to be like a fan that like ran on the field, grabbed the javelin, and threw it back at the guy.
Well, there was that actual judge. I think it was a world championship that actually got hit in the skull with the javelin.
Yep.
Did you guys see that? I'll post that.
No, we
I'll
did.
post that
I
link.
remember that.
Okay.
Yeah, and all right, I'm so mad at you, Lou, and I'll explain it to the end.
I was going to say golf.
What you just did there. No, yeah, what you just did there to our entire bit, it just pissed me off. Lou. Yeah. Puck, what sport do you think?
You couldn't conceal it anyway.
No, like if that's the case, like you let us know. You know what? I'll explain it later.
No, you say pool. I say pool, bro. Pool ball, because that's hard enough, and you could throw it hard enough where it's almost like a baseball.
Bruce, not Bruce. I'm sorry. Pac is absolutely right. A pool ball is the way to do it. Now, the fear with pool is like, you think about in professional setting, you're probably fine, right? Like most professional pool players look like they're not really going to come fight you. In a pool hall setting, usually it's like, okay, now you got an issue.
That's where you'd start someone who's not. You'd start a professional, but you wouldn't start just a random person.
Yeah, but that's like every sport, right? Like even in basketball, I'm not throwing a basketball at somebody at Rutgers. I'm like, no, I'm good. Like I'm just walking away from this. Actually, you know what? Not. Oh, go ahead, Bob.
I was gonna say, not hockey. You throw the hockey. I was thinking hockey puck, because you throw the hockey puck, they gonna come whoop your ass. Like that's the one where you throw one at them. It don't matter if the NHL or not. They coming up there.
No, you're right. The most likely to fight you is absolutely hockey. Brock, what'd you have?
Is croquet still a thing? I feel like that ball would do some damage.
No, yeah.
With that quarter zip, you look like a croquet player.
Is it still a thing? I feel like Brock played croquet this weekend, and he's asking us if it's still a thing.
Was it?
All right, croquet is a good answer too, though. The more we say this, my nuts of bowling is a dumb answer. Cap, what'd you have?
I was gonna go with pool, but I think I'll take the time to baseball. I mean, baseball is the most dangerous. I mean, you can throw 100 miles an hour. It's harder than mostly any other sports ball, other than a few. The precision that you can throw it at, come on now. Baseball
but
is
the-
the most
But
dangerous.
it's
The only reason I
you.
say-
You
oh, go
can't
ahead.
throw a ball 100 miles an hour. You can't throw it with that precision.
Yeah, it's a fan. What's the fan can
Well,
throw
and-
at you,
and not
that's
just
going
how
to
fast
kill
you can throw it, it's the distance, right? Like in pool and croquet, I imagine, and other sports like that, the fans have to be closer to the athlete in those sports, right? Like in baseball, you're still in the stands, and so I don't think that it's going to do as much damage. But Cabo, if you can't throw 100 miles an hour, I think from the stands, if you're in the lower deck, maybe you can. Go ahead, Lou.
Well, to be fair, I mean, Capo could be Henry Rollin Gardner. He could have a rocket, right? And then he could injure someone. A chooch.
My arm
No one
has been better since my accident.
So here's what I have to do now. Morgan, I'm going to ask you what your answer is, and then I need to explain why it is that Lou, aka Beach House Bruce, is the worst teammate to exist in the history of the pod. So, Morgan, what do you think the answer would be?
I think it would be darts. Thanks, Bruce, you fucking idiot.
Darts. Yeah. A fun, sharp object. The greatest, like, into the bit of, like, hey, something sharp that's not a ball that you threw at the athlete. But what does Lou do, knowing that Morgan had
that's
darts?
the javelin.
In the
That's a
back pocket, so
javelin.
everybody knows. We talked
That's
about
a
this in the
giant
chat.
dart.
A
It's a
giant dart.
That's what I'm saying, though. What I'm mad about is the entire setup was we all talk about balls. We end with Morgan going off the board with a dart. That is the setup for the joke. And what do you do knowing that joke is coming? You say, I'm ready in the chat to me privately that nobody
I
can
didn't
see.
know that.
I go to you. And you go with
I didn't know
something
that
that's
she was
not a
going with
ball that's
darts.
sharp.
I
You
didn't know she was
literally
going with
ruined the
darts.
entire bit.
I was
in
just
the
saying.
chat.
No, I don't. Do you think I actually read the chats? I just scroll down to the last thing that has something to do with me, and then I type in. I'm sorry. I was assuming that, like, hey, Lou/Bruce, come up with something that's good that's going
Bruce.
to kill someone. And so I was like, hey, a javelin. That's gonna. The other thing was like the shot put. Or the the thingy that you throw like this. Those are my three.
ball
those
and
are my
chain?
three top.
The
forget
hammer
the
throw.
original.
Can you
From,
stand up and do
Hammer.
that?
That's fine. I appreciate the fact. The payoff. All right. Instead of coming up with something that would kill somebody, you killed the entire bit. But you know what? It's okay. It gave us the better content of saying, why did you do that to poor Morgan? She came up with the 1-inch version of the sport that you came up with. All right.
Whatever, you
I'm
can't conceal
sorry.
a javelin,
I'm
you
sorry.
idiot.
It's all right. You
Javelin.
basically just ruined something the same way that kids can ruin an entire moment without notice. And the reason I say that is earlier today, our friend, actually one of our friends that presented Brock to us, Mark, had asked us a question that said, have you ever had a kid kind of ruin something last minute? He asked two questions, one this weekend, one this. So whichever one we think is more entertaining, or I think go with whichever you have. Do kids make you feel stupid? Which is when they ask you a question that is a very simple question you don't know the answer to. And then he also said today, when a kid, you're taking kids somewhere and last minute they tell you something very important that they may not thought was important and it ruins the entire trip. Brock gave a smirk. He must have already heard this complaint by Mark, or he has something. But Pam, I know you had something as well. So you had something recently happen.
Relatively recently. It was before Claire was driving, so it's been more than 2 years ago. But she got invited to a birthday party at her friend's house who lives like 45 minutes. I assumed, this was the problem with assuming. We've been to this friend's house many times. It's like 45 minutes away. We've done sleepovers, parties, you name it. So child is having a party. It's a sleepover. Claire asked to go. I said, absolutely, take you over there. We get almost to the road that you turn onto to kid's house. And she goes, oh, it's not at her mom's house. It's at her dad's house. Well, I don't know her dad. I've never talked to her dad. I have no idea where her dad lives. Claire's like, well, you didn't ask me where it was. Well, okay. So then she gives me the address. It is 2 hours away. 2 hours.
Did you?
I have all of my kids in the car with me. It is an evening at this point. We get up there. I'm like, something on the GPS isn't right. Because I know where Marshall is, and Marshall is an hour and a half. I don't know why it says 2 hours. We get to Marshall, it's an hour and a half to Marshall. Then you pull onto this 1-lane mountain road that is unpaved, and it's another 30 minutes up the mountain to this dude's house. It is winter. There's snow on the ground. I'm in a Honda Civic navigating this mountain road at night. It was the longest weekend of my life. Taking this child to this party, then driving 2 hours home, getting up on Saturday, driving 2 hours back up, and then 2 hours home to bring her home. It was a nightmare. Claire, though, said,
Fuck that.
never asked me. Yeah, Claire said, well, you never asked me whose house it was at.
Whoever just said fuck that, I'm sorry.
There needs to be like a clear rule. Like if you're going to ask for something that's that inconvenient, you have to share those details.
Thank you.
Well, that's the
and
worst part.
after she hurt my feelings this week about shopping, she can get fucked.
Thank you. I agree, Morgan.
Rat ass hoe.
I'm over her. I'm
done.
She's
not the favorite anymore.
Okay.
I can't wait to drop her off.
Have we gotten all of our one-liners, all of our one-liners out of the way? Can we have a conversation now, or are we?
Yeah.
No, I think we can end it because I don't think we can top that. I don't think anybody's can top that. Like that.
No, I didn't want to. Yeah, I wasn't gonna just do like a competition. I had follow-ups of like, or more like, why the hell why did your kid make it to that party? Because the rest of us give up. Like your kid had no reason to make it to that party. On Saturday, no, like get a bobsled and find your way down that hill. Like I'm definitely not going back up there the next day.
There's no way. There is no fucking way. Once we get to that road where it's, oh no, it's not here, that we're going any further.
Yeah, you're right. Because an hour and a half in, even through all that, once I get to that last 30 minutes where it's up a mountain, I'm like, you know what? Nope, I will give up here. I would have made it an hour and a half, and this is where I quit. So
yeah, this is how much you've pissed me off. We're going to get this close and we're going home.
I'm a sucker. And yeah, so I did it. I followed through. Now, I will say the view was unbelievable. When we got up to this dude's house, you could see Washington, D.C., Pennsylvania, and West Virginia, like all from his house. It was amazing.
At that point, I'm asking the whole time walking down the mountain.
Yeah. At that point, I'm asking if he has an extra guest room. Like, all right, you know what?
Right?
I'm staying
like,
here.
Where can the other kids and I sleep? Because I'm not driving home.
Bruce has his hand up as if he has the wrong answer in a math class of 4th grade. So Bruce, go.
I'm just trying to be respectful. So when you said Marshall, all I could think about was that from like We Are Marshall, the school We Are Marshall?
No, Marshall, Virginia, like near Dayton, like Loudoun County. So very far northwest Virginia, almost Pennsylvania, almost West Virginia.
Okay. Can we eventually? I know we don't have Mike Ryan level production. Eventually, can we get to the point where I can just take Lou saying, after realizing he asked if Marshall, which is famously in Marshall, Texas, was in Virginia where Pam is known to live. Like, eventually we get to the point where it's just.
Wait, hold on. Is that really in Texas?
There is a Marshall, Texas.
It's not Texas.
It's where Randy Moss played college football.
That's West Virginia. West Virginia.
That Marshall is Marshall University of West Virginia.
Yeah.
I just ruined it. Holy crap.
Yeah.
Keep all that in. I was thinking the Marshall, was it the bus crash that I did there wrong? Did I mix up the bus crash?
The plane crash is Marshall University in West Virginia.
Yeah, that was Randy Moss.
Okay. We are Marshall.
Incidentally, I had a really nice breakfast one day in Marshall, and that's all I could think about. It was really awkward. Yeah. Oh no, we were leaving Roanoke, going through Roanoke. We were going to Cincinnati.
Well, now that we're on how bad I am at just being a person in general, I had prematurely answered yes to something Beep had a question on earlier in the chat, and I don't think did anybody else have something there that could beat Pam? Because I agree with Lou that story kind of did it, but if you do,
I was gonna follow up if I could. Sorry, why didn't you ask where you were going to start? This feels kind of like your fault to start with.
Because Brock, thank you for asking. We've known this family forever, and the dad has never been in the picture, so we have never not gone to Mom's house. So, like, for a party to be at Dad's house, I wasn't sure the dad was even alive. So, it was
Fair.
an interesting twist. And we've never seen or heard from the dad again. So, like, these years later, the girls are all still friends. And I think that was like a one off. I don't know. It was meant to ruin my weekend, and it worked. There you go.
What did I'm confused. Like, so what did the dad do? Because like now I'm imagining like he might have at least some money, like to be. Yeah. What did he do?
He's an attorney in DC.
Okay.
Any further questions, Your Honor?
I can't say anything. I ruined the West. I can't believe I ruined the Marshall thing. I'm not here to judge, but great follow up, Morgan.
I don't know
Go ahead,
anything
Liv,
about
please,
Marshall.
more.
Sorry about it.
Like, you are on fire. All right, Bruce is laughing.
I just want to say something about like, may I approach the bench, Your Honor?
Not without a shirt
You
on.
can't handle the Bruce.
You can't handle.
Moving on. So, yeah, all right. Yeah, I don't think anybody's gonna beat that story. I think.
Anyway, Mark's kid was an asshole too.
Yeah,
Not just Pam's.
Yeah.
Infamously an asshole, from my understanding.
Yeah.
Assuming it's the same one, but I can't.
Of course, it's the same one.
Yeah. Which honestly, if you're Mark and you breed an asshole, you cannot be surprised by that.
Well,
So
if you're gonna have 5, you're gonna have an asshole.
You guys have no idea how much they are alike, so
that's what I was gonna say. Like, yeah, if you met Mark, there's no surprise he bred an asshole. Like, it's just what he would make.
Yeah.
So
you can tell by everything he says that kid is exactly like him.
That's why he likes them.
that's honestly true, because I don't think I could love a child that didn't have some sort of sarcasm. So hopefully number 2. Beat, you had something that was, and again, like, without knowing, I answered it, but I wasn't 100% sure how you wanted me to preface this, so I'm just going to give it to you and you ask the question.
Yeah, so this is one of those classic scenarios of, would you take X amount of money, but there's a caveat. So the question is, would you take $250,000 a year, tax-free, in an offshore Swiss bank account every single year, but you would have to take, at a random time, at a random location, it's always unknown, a shin kick from like Shogun Hua, who kicks at like 2,700 pounds of force. You can't block it, you can't defend it, you can't retaliate. So once a month, you get kicked in the shin by one of the hardest leg kickers in UFC history. But at the end of the year, you get $250,000.
Do I get the money up front or do I get it at the end?
End of year. But you get kicked once
so
a
I've got
month.
to take 12 kicks to get it.
12 kicks to get $250,000.
Yeah, fucking do it.
Every single year for the
Whatever.
every single year for the rest of your life.
No, because I can say why Morgan said yeah, fine. In Australia, y'all's healthcare is free, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's gonna
So
cost
in
me.
Australia, she's like, not a big deal. Here, even after you meet your deductible, I feel like you're gonna find a way to spend most of that $250,000 on medical expenses after
That
medical.
orthopedic surgery will eat through it in about 2 surgeries, and he's breaking your leg every time he kicks you. So,
And your
Okay,
leg's
so-
not even recovering, maybe. Like,
Yeah,
your
you're
leg
out
may
of
not
money.
even be unbroken.
yeah, you're out of money in about 6 weeks.
So how
Bruce.
about if we make it $1 million? $1 million a year to get kicked in the leg once a month, random time. It's a complete surprise.
Okay, can I if
But
it's
what
random
you lived
time,
in
that
a
means
country
like,
where you had healthcare.
well, yeah, if you're Australian, we all say yes, right? Because you said yes at 250K. If let's say, like, if I'm walking down the road and I know it's unexpected, let's say I'm walking down the road, and Bruce, I absolutely see your hand up, so I promise I'm gonna get to you. I'm walking down the road and I see him coming almost like a car or like a kid. Do I need to like try to like he's gonna get.
Nope. So there's no defending. There's no dodging. There's no retaliation. You just get
No.
kicked in the shin.
Not worth it. I'm
$1 million bucks a year, tax
I mean,
free.
it sounds crazy. I feel like most of that is literally going to be eaten through it. Like, a clean kick to my shin. Again, y'all see me, I'm tiny, so
Brown and fragile.
I'm losing my leg every time. It's a no for me, and I can't believe I answered yes prematurely to this. It's a no. Bruce, go.
Yeah, it's a no for me because no, I don't like pain.
All right, so here's my thing. So January, he kicks my left shin, it breaks, right? It's still broken in February, so he kicks my right shin. So my right shin is broken in February, right? So like every month, my shins are broken for the whole year.
Exactly.
So no.
For $1 million though.
No, I'm not.
Yeah.
You're basically asking if we would like to lose our ability to walk, but also lose it in a painful way every month. Like, it's not like you just lost it one way and you have to learn from it. Like, if you told me I lose my ability, and either way it'd be a no, but this way you're making somebody relive losing the ability to walk every month. Like, it's absolutely
But it's $1
no.
million though. It's $1
Also
million.
like to be in chronic pain because that's also going to happen.
Yeah, I'd hate to see the categories you're searching in incognito internet beep if you just love pain this much. Brock, would you do this for $1 million?
I'd do a lot of things for $1 million. I'm not sure I would voluntarily have someone break my legs once a month. But I mean, are we talking Ed McCaffrey shin, break here where that the bone it's gruesome, or are we talking like maybe a hairline fracture? How severe
It's a
is the
great question
break?
because all you're agreeing to is the kick, so you're assuming it's going to break.
Yeah, you're just assuming it's going to break. However, I did some research on this, and it takes about 4,100 pounds of force to actually break your femur. I didn't find anything that showed how much pounds of force it would take to break your tibia or your fibula.
Okay.
But
I imagine that number drops the more it's been broken or kicked.
correct. Yeah, your bone's going to heal. It's going to calcify. It's going to get stronger and stronger every month. So that calcify.
But we have the option to switch legs.
He chooses the leg. He chooses the leg.
So you could be fresh out of the last surgery when he shows up to kick you in that exact same leg again.
Could be. It could be 3 o'clock in the morning. You're dead ass asleep, and he just comes in.
Oh,
whack.
We're not messing with Placey's sleep. We know.
I prefer it being my sleep. I feel like the kick to my sleep, I'd be laying down. It's a lot less likely. Yeah.
Placey, she's not going to wake up.
Nope.
You know what? Honestly, like I'm like enjoying this visualization of Pam being in bed and this guy coming in and just like drop kicking her like when she sleeps, because then like he may break her leg, but like the rage of Pam getting woken up at like 3 in the morning, he just might not. You know what? Like the rest of the year, he was like, "I'm sorry, Pam."
You better just hope he kills me.
But it's $1 million.
It could be 9:30 p.m. Either way.
It could, at 9:31, I will wake up in a rage.
Beep is really mad that nobody here say no. Brock, did you even answer?
The more I think about it, I think I would say yes, but then after I get kicked 3 times, I'd probably say no more. Yeah.
Then you're going to have 3 broken legs for nothing. You might as well get 12. And then you get
So you know what? I'm changing my answer. I'm gonna do it because you know what? My fucking legs are not gonna break. So I haven't broken a bone in my entire life. So this asshole is gonna try to kick my leg. It's gonna hurt like hell, but my leg's not gonna break, and I'm gonna make $1 million a year.
All right, great take. I'm glad that somehow your legs got stronger, like in your head. You're like, I got this. That's, you know what? Respect.
I drink a lot of milk.
Puck. It's a false fact, by the way. There are many documentaries disproving that milk makes your bones stronger. So kids, if you're listening to this, which you shouldn't be, do not believe that. Puck, are you doing this? Capo, are you doing this?
No, bro, I'm not volunteering to let nobody just be kicking me and shit. That's not my money plan.
Puck, that's why you're the best, man. I fucking love you.
That was the simplest answer. Like, no, I'm just not going to volunteer for somebody to start kicking me and shit. Cap, are you going to be doing this?
So first of all, let me for anybody listening that is vasovagal that hasn't passed out by now, go sit down. That being said, like I'm a little lightheaded right now.
Wait, I'm
But,
sorry.
yeah,
Repeat
hell
what you
yeah.
just said.
Anybody that's vasovagal, you know, VV.
Valedictorian.
Yeah,
That's
valedictorian.
me.
Anyway, moving on. Hell yeah, I'm doing it.
Okay.
Okay,
Well,
fair
there
enough.
we go. I'm glad we took the scenic route to get to that. Thank you, Capo. Capo, I
I want
love
to
you,
know.
bro.
Wait, hold on. Wait,
No,
the VV what?
No, all right, thank you. I'm okay with
no,
that. You know what? Yeah.
seriously? No,
Go
straight
ahead,
up.
Capo.
Okay.
Repeat the VV thing.
Vasovagal.
But what does it mean?
It's a
We
medical
heard what
term.
you said. Some of us just don't
You straight-
understand it.
Okay, so people have different triggers. Like medical triggers is one of mine. Like sitting here, my hands are sweating. Like I'm probably white as a ghost, ready to pass out, but I'm sitting down. Like it's just hearing the words,
Got
and
it.
it's crazy.
No, trust me. I understand when my palms are sweaty.
Knees weak.
Or your
Knees
knees weak.
weak?
Mom
Is there
Bruce's arms
vomit
are
on
heavy.
your sweater?
Mom spaghetti.
Spaghetti.
Brock fitting in. I love it. All right. And you mentioned something which I don't know if we have time to. Do we get time to do we want to do rapid fire, like something minor that really annoys you, Lou? Because
my question is still like today, like it was like unhinged because like clearly Mike Riding getting the U like unhinged him unbeknownst. So like what is something mundane just like in your normal life that someone does that just absolutely drives you crazy? Like if you were like not a normal person, like you would beat the shit out of that person when they did it.
Okay, I'm already not a known person. And I get driven crazy by every little thing because I'm an asshole. To me, it's when I'm leaving the house and I'm at like if we forget one little thing, if you forgot to unplug something or you thought you did, if you forgot a cup of juice, like and I don't care if we're only halfway out the garage, I don't even have to turn around. The fact that we made it to the car and I now have to go back in the house because you forgot something, it drives me insane. It only cost me 30 seconds, but for some reason it will drive me through the wall because it had yeah, and that's all I gotta say. I don't need to start taking out my wife and my family here. But that's the one minor thing that has no impact on my life that will drive me through the wall. Beep.
So the one thing that really, really chaps my hide is when you are on a side street attempting to make a right-hand turn onto like a 2 or 3 lane road. And there is someone coming in that far right-hand lane and no one in that lane next to them. They have a completely open lane. Exactly. Oh my God, that just drives me up a bleeping wall. Move over, let me get out, move on with my life. You can move on with yours. Fucking do it. That's it.
Has Capo ever been more efficient than saying pull the fuck over in the middle of that?
Nope.
I'm with you though. Great one. Lou, who's next, Lou?
Well, I'm next. So I have turn signals. If you're going to turn, just turn your turn signal on. It's the most, it's so simple. It's not hard. Just turn it on. It's so annoying. One, especially like when like someone's coming or you need to turn and the person's not turning the turn signal on, just turn your goddamn turn signal on. It drives me fucking nuts. Like it makes me mad. Like I want to like chase that person down who doesn't turn their turn signal on and be like, just turn your turn signal on.
I hope one day you do that. That's the same thing.
Yeah.
Thanks. Or you're just doing a thing, Capo, where you can be efficient on all those. I hope one day you do that, and it's like some poor person that doesn't, not poor like financially, some poor person that doesn't understand that like their light bulb's out because it's blinking faster, and their light bulb's out, and you don't know that they're blinking. I hope that's what happens one day.
I did too, because like from my facial hair, like I look intimidating, but like in reality, I'm not. But yes,
I hope you do it shirtless because then you just look like MAGA trying to yell at somebody for having a blinker on. Brock, is there something?
Lost in
Is
the
there something?
background.
I'm one of those weird people that if I hear you chewing, it literally drives me up a wall. The sound of someone chewing food drives me nuts. It's It's the worst.
Is it the chewing or is it the smacking that?
No, well, smacking
Okay.
the smacking the lips also, but it's like if I can hear, I don't know if I've odd hearing or what, but if I hear like the food like smushing around in your mouth, like movie theaters drive me nuts because I can hear everyone chomping on popcorn. But yeah, it's
In the middle of a movie. Yeah, you may have super hearing because
I
in
don't
the middle
know.
of a movie, I can't hear. Okay. But no, I'm with you. It would be annoying if I heard it. I just could potentially have hearing issues. Morgie.
When I go to say goodbye to somebody and then it's like another 5 minutes of my life I have to spend before I can fucking leave because like it just can't like you're not dead. We're not dead. Like you'll see me again. We don't need to do this. Every fucking time that I have to leave my mother, it's like, oh, but this, oh, but this. Like, motherfucker, I've been here for hours. You don't need to do this. I'm not staying. Leave me alone. I'm walking out the door. Every time. Drives me fucking mad. Jimmy's grandparents. If they're saying goodbye, that's 20 more minutes before those fuckers will get out of the driveway. They, what about this? Oh, go away.
Morgan, your take was fine at first. I was like, okay, I can see that. Until you made your 2 points of references, your own mother and somebody else's grandparents. You made yourself a horrible person.
No, she did not. No, I disagree because like when you leave, you should leave. I don't want to spend another 20 minutes talking about like the stuff that we should have talked about a half an hour ago.
But I don't like the meandering to the door. Like it's this slow, awkward walk where you're like 3 more steps and what about this, Sharon? Oh, what about this, Jim? Get out, go.
Yeah, the body language. There's usually 20 minutes of body language before you say bye. So you're right. I just thought mom and grandparents was like the funniest way to do it.
Oh yeah, well, they're
Pam.
Yes. So people who call me, they know I'm not a phone person. People who know me know that I hate the phone. I don't answer phone calls. Text me. I will answer you immediately. Or email me. Like I am very, very vocal about the fact that I don't want to talk on the phone and that I won't answer if you call me. And they'll call anyway and be like, oh, you didn't answer. No shit. And I'm not going to. I'll never answer the phone. Like if it's important, text me and I'll call you back. But like just keep calling and then say, well, I called you yesterday. Yeah, I saw you called me. I hit dismiss.
The worst. I hate people that will not do calls. And when you say email me, it's like, what? Email me?
I have said like 70,000 times in the chat, my office phone, my desk phone has been on Do Not Disturb since 2015. I do not accept phone calls.
All right,
I don't like them. I don't want them. Email me or text me.
This is a topic I think we bring up next week because I could go forever on this and I know we have limited time. So next week I want to talk to you. We will argue forever about this. Pac.
Well, you know, people that bring all their luggage on the plane is a pet peeve for me. So that's number one. Number two, I hate a bad customer, man.
God damn it, Lou.
Who does that? I muted him. Hold on. Hold on. I'm sorry. Is that Lou? Because I muted Lou and I still heard it.
It was still
Lou, you mother.
Lou called me and I didn't answer.
Oh, Flem, you're so slow.
I didn't see that. I am slow. I'm sorry. I was paying attention to the person talking. Lou, hold on. No. You know what, Lou? You didn't do it while she was talking. You did it while Pac was talking.
Yes.
Pac, go ahead again. And I'm sorry that Lou's Bruce.
Hey, hold on. I need to get Skip real quick because I gotta get my son in the house real quick.
All right. Well, we'll move on to Capo then.
Go ahead.
All right. Capo. Thanks, Lou. You literally ruined the entire person's ability to talk.
Okay.
Capo, would you like to acknowledge the fact that I went to you 30 seconds of silence ago?
I was just letting it sit.
That's great for a podcast. Just
visual medium now, right?
You're right.
Thank you.
With the camera off.
They're gonna drive me. we can't be visual too much longer. I'm going to keep making faces that show how annoyed I am every time Capo decides to try to annoy me.
Where did Naked Lou go?
Oh no.
So people that pull out in front of the car instead of letting the car go by.
Okay.
I'm trying not to laugh. I'm sorry.
So
Well,
so
I
are
wasn't-
we. That's what's stopping us from laughing. We're trying really hard. Brock, did you? Oh yeah, Brock, you already went. I'm sorry. All right, so let's just wrap this up with and Pac, unless if you want to jump in here right now within the next 5 seconds and let me know that you're done. Otherwise, I gotta go to Brock. All right. So Brock, here we are, the final moment, and we need to preface this, Brock, if you don't mind. This is something that naturally occurred by you telling me that you were upset that I didn't bring you on to Allie's racing pod from Laughter the Club. And then I was like, all right, come on tonight, talk about it. And this kind of came up naturally. I want to be clear from your idea. Like, it was kind of your idea to do the 1 minute, not to go against Smetty. That's me doing my thing. But this was something that naturally came up through conversation. I only say that to make sure it doesn't seem like I went out and was like, hey, come on, Brock, and do this thing. Just so it doesn't look like I went and outsourced my F1 talk. So this kind of came up naturally through our best friend text, right?
Yeah. I appreciate that you guys actually did a racing pod. I think for us racing fans out there, it's pretty cool. I think the show is also acknowledging at least that racing's a thing now. But yeah.
Was I an asshole on that pod? You can answer honestly.
I don't think so. I think I told you I'm kind of, sad that no one thought of their favorite racing event was the sausage racing at Miller Park, especially when one ended in violence with a bat. Anybody remembers that incident or not? But that was always a highlight of a racing event for me.
Beep remembers, it seems.
But yeah.
All right. Yeah, sorry. No, Beep had said he remembered, and I know we left you there with nothing, but yeah, none of us have. Before this year, I think we're really into racing, at least not on this specific pod. It seems like we had people from Laughter the Club that liked it. But what we get to is today, if you were listening to the Levitard with Stu Got show, is the 1 minute that Smetty had to explain F1's race, which was Sunday, I believe, correct, Brock?
Yes.
Okay. So Beep count, go figure, has the clock. And he's going to give us 60 seconds. And we are going to cut you off. Good, you did.
Okay.
Right.
You were doing the crazy little internet matrix thing there.
Yeah, I know. I stopped that. Whenever that happens, I'll stop and wait for y'all to come back to real video. But we won't have to because if y'all go. All right, Brock, you ready?
I am ready.
Beep, you ready?
Ready.
3, 2, 1, go.
All right. First of all, thanks everyone for having me on. Nice to know that Mark hasn't screwed this up for you guys yet. But last Sunday, yes, was the British Grand Prix. And boy, was it exciting. First of all, McLaren Racing represent. They had a great turnout with Lando Norris coming in at number 3 and Daniel Ricciardo at number 5. They're clearly the number 3 team. Ferrari is just not there anymore. But the real drama happened with Lewis Hamilton, who won. But he almost killed a guy. They say rubbing is racing, but if you need to have your teammate let you go by them, did you really win? I don't know. Highlight for my personal enjoyment was when Lance Stroll, the driver for Aston Martin, almost lost control from not a flat tire or another car, but the damn TV helicopter that flew too close to the track and he almost went off the road. It's the craziest thing I've ever seen. 2 seconds is no
time.
Sorry, you're done.
Time.
I can't believe you wasted 8 seconds. Yeah, saying thank you.
Basically talking about Mark.
Yeah, thank you.
I had to get a joke in.
For having me first of all, I think Mark.
We're racing to a finish here.
It was going in 60 seconds.